Hey guys,
Hey!
Jana and Molly.
No, I'm not Molly.
Jana and Jo here.
We just wanted to sneak this in.
Yes, before you listen to the next episode, which is H, could you just bear something in mind? Jo will explain.
Because we've listened back to this and there's a chance that at some points we're a bit waffly.
You are waffling.
I am reflective of your waffle. And a few people have very kindly sent us little notes saying how much they're enjoying it, but we need to cut down on the waffle. So we weren't going to release this one.
We were not, and we both listened to it a couple of times. And first time I listened back to it, I thought that's a little waffle. But then I listened to it again, and there's some really good bits in it. So we feel like we can't just put it in a bin.
No, and yes. No.
No.
So what we're going to do is we've given you this little warning.
Yep.
We're going to release another one in a few days' time, which
Yep.
we think is a lot more precise, although I'm not sure it's that much.
No, that one's very angry, to be honest. So to be honest, skip this one and skip the next one and then maybe the new one. No.
But you at least have been warned, so this is a health warning. If the waffle really drives you mad, skip to A, which is the next one.
Absolutely. But hopefully you will listen to it, you will give it a go, and you might enjoy it. And even if we just get 1 star for that one, at least you listened and
Do you know
acknowledged.
what? If they're still listening now, they have no problem with waffle.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome
to our podcast.
Lez-Come-Together.
I am Jana.
And I am Jo.
Hi, Jo.
Hey, thanks for coming back, everybody.
You mean me, surely?
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully people are listening to this, or really is just you and me listening.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. I haven't seen you forever.
So, yeah, because today, let's talk about H.
Or her, as we say in Slovakia.
You see, but that's just weird. Because if I say, let's talk about her, you're going to be like, who? Is she good looking? I mean, it's H. Not her.
Only in England. Anyway, it's a her.
Right.
Or H.
H.
You should call it. Really weird. Either way, we're talking about, for me, holidays.
Because that's one of the reasons we haven't seen each other for such a long time.
Because you're always on holidays, Jo.
Oh, stop it. I went away for 9 days to Ireland.
Yeah.
And you've been where since I last seen you?
Only Slovakia
Yeah.
and Italy.
Yeah.
And I did have a little trip to Wales.
Okay. But 3 holidays.
Wales wasn't a holiday. It was more of a funeral.
Oh. Oh, now I feel bad.
Oh, good.
Okay. Quick, let's do... I'm really sorry to hear that. But anyway, let's go back to the other H's. So you've had some good holidays in Slovakia, family-related holiday, I'm guessing.
Fantastic holidays. I mean, guys, the summer, like...
Don't.
Well, maybe not here, but...
I was going to say, I went to Ireland. Which summer? What happened?
Well, you don't go to Ireland if you want heat.
I know, and it was really cool because we went with my mum. We took the dog.
Aww.
It was a family thing.
So, still a holiday?
Yeah, it was really, really gorgeous because there was no really agenda apart from see some beautiful places. Got up really early and took the dog, and we walked on these windswept beaches, and it was just idyllic, actually.
Fabulous. Enough about your holiday.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my holidays.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, people lately have been saying, oh, you guys are always on holidays. Well, do you know what? I tell them, we've made a choice to not have children and to live in 1-bedroom flat.
Yeah.
Work crazy hours.
Yeah.
So yes, to get away from that, we go on holidays a lot.
I know, but the topic is you do a lot of uploading of those pictures and little video snippets on places like Facebook. So what do you expect other than people saying you have too many holidays and getting a bit jealous?
Actually, most of people actually really love it and support it. And actually a lot of people have said that they feel like they've been on holiday with us. So...
Which is a bit weird, isn't it? The two of you and all of us curving in, but okay.
No, it's been fantastic. Slovakia was so hot, and it was so nice to see my sister, and just chill. Really, do some stuff around our property that we've got there, and.
Oh, so this 1-bedroom flat? You got another property in Slovakia? I mean, you didn't tell us about that, did you?
Well, it's just that one's inherited from mum and dad. Obviously.
Okay.
So,
Oh, well, let's get back to that. Making me feel bad.
Do you really want me to talk about funerals?
No, okay.
Because this is H.
H.
Or her. Holidays.
Holidays.
Holiday. So you don't say Hly days, do you? You say holidays. Her. Holidays.
Yeah, but every letter of the alphabet has a big letter, like A, and a little letter, like A. So you don't say Apple, you say apple. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just helping you with their English.
Foreigners, I know. I'm sorry. I apologise. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. We come back and we worked, and then went on our holidays in Italy for 2 weeks. And again, it was so blooming hot, so hot. But we did everything. We saw Naples, we went to Pompeii, we climbed up Vesuvius, we drove around the Amalfi Coast, went up and down about 1 million steps every day because my wife, she had this itinerary.
And you had to tick it off?
Yep, 3 pages of it.
Wow. Now that's interesting because I think I think a holiday should have some downtime, like really serious, not having to do anything type time. But I also think the idea of just sitting by a pool for a whole week, that's not a holiday for me either. That's like, unless I've got a full-on case of books that I can read, I'm going to be like, I'm bored now.
So this is where our next holiday comes into that we have already booked.
Right.
And that's in 6 weeks' time, and that's exactly what it will be, because most of our holidays are very adventurous, and we,
out and about, up and down steps.
But this one will be Canary Islands, which we do every year at the end of the year, and we are sitting by the pool, reading the books, and eating.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
good for you.
Rest, proper week of rest.
Brilliant.
I've already told my wife, no itineraries.
No pages.
No pages.
Okay.
She's probably writing one secretly and then pull it out as we taken off. Or something.
Funnily enough, the things you can do in the Canary Islands are. Okay, brilliant. No, good for you. But I mean, obviously it means that you do have like, you can't keep up with friends, etc. like you normally would in these periods where you're off gallivanting. So.
But as soon as we come back, we're like, Joe, Vicky, where
have
are
you
you?
been?
Yeah, and everybody else, obviously. We're quite good at actually seeing people. As soon as we come back, actually, we do miss our friends. So we come back and we always make sure we see them all.
That's impressive stuff. I'm a bit more lazy. I get back and before you know it, you're back having to be going to work every day, and then you're back, and I'm pretty, I say I'm not good at keeping in touch with friends generally.
You're rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now we know it. Maybe you can work on it, Joe.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
You have been very, very good with us, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. We quite like you.
Oh.
So, H.
Good.
Thinking about, because I don't want to dwell on this, because then you might find that, I'm just being nice to you. But H, to me, one of the things that we need to talk about is obviously, because this is a educational slightly podcast, is H in the LGBTQIA plus arena would be for homosexual.
You are a big homo, aren't you?
Yeah,
And
that
so
would be me. Heterosexual.
Yes, that's not us.
No. And then homophobic. So let's go back, because I can see you're already chomping at the bit with homophobic. But heterosexual. So my first thing to say is, that's when people are normal.
What?
But because exactly that kind of flows out of my mouth, and then immediately I go, don't be ridiculous, like I'm normal.
You're very
Darling, almost.
You are fairly normal. Heterosexual people
are people
are
who
also normal, but they're also straight. Heterosexual.
Yeah, exactly. So they have sex with people of the opposite sex. But like, how do you express that and not use that term normal? Because that obviously is kind of insulting for us, because we're normal.
Yeah.
But we're not in the... I guess what I'm trying to say, it's more the majority versus the minority.
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? But there should be no normal or not normal. We are all normal. Just some of us are homosexual. and some of us are heterosexual.
Yeah, I like that. We're all normal.
Yeah.
Because the norm is what's ever happening in your life. That's normal for you.
Absolutely. Heterosexuals, straight people. Also, I'm trying to think of any other name for them. That's not insulting for them.
The most important thing is this podcast is for all. Because
Absolutely.
even if you're heterosexual, homosexual, we hopefully are A, entertaining. I'm not sure we're hitting that today. And B, somewhat educational, somewhat informative, because we're showing you, talking about what it is to be normal in a different way as a minority.
I'm going to have to stop you there, Joe, because before we started recording this podcast, I said to you, it's been a long day, I could do with a drink, it might make me funnier. What did you do? What did you do? Tell the
Well,
people.
I said, of course, I went into my drinks cabinet, I found a bottle that had a little bit in the bottom, and I said, go ahead, Jana.
I downed it, and then noticed it says 0% alcohol, Joe.
And so, A, it was disgusting, she says. Gin, 0%. I think I'm a very responsible drinker. And B, now she's not funny.
Oh, wow. Thank God you are here to save the day. You are so funny, Joe.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, no, the good news is I did then find her some other alcohol that she could have a
It's
wee...
still not working,
No.
apparently.
So, other things about H, homophobic. So I read something recently and it was saying homophobic, the translation is a fear of. And then there was apparently a quote from Morgan Freeman, and I'm not reading it, so I might get this wrong, but Morgan Freeman said something like, "You are not afraid." Oh no, I need to look it up because I've lost it at all. It's a really good quote. It's like, homophobia is not because you're afraid. It's a fact that you're hating. Because the whole idea of
that sounds like something Morgan Freeman
exactly
would
a
say.
phobia should be you be scared. But I feel that homophobia most of the time is not when somebody is scared of someone having a relationship with someone else. It's the fact they want to judge and hate and actually say that is not allowed and not the right thing to do, rather than it doesn't frighten them. It is something they want to have an opinion on.
Yeah, either way, homophobia is a big no-no. It's disgusting. It's
Exactly.
awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, do we hate on straight people? I mean, maybe some gay people do. Maybe do.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, some people hate other people, but I would hope not.
But you wouldn't like
Because of a
because of this.
label.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mad.
exactly.
However, the homophobia is still there. It's out there, and we have prides. I mean,
Yep.
that's not H, that's a P. But we have prides, and it's just kind of been a pride season. It's coming to an end, the pride season. So, we're still out there, and pride is a protest, and we have to still fight against homophobia and transphobia.
Yeah.
It's a real thing, and as much as we're trying to be educational, we're really not being funny, are we?
No, but it is very important. So me and my son were watching during the Pride Month that was in June. Disney had a 30-minute program on the different prides around the world, and it was so important because there are still places around the world where these people march and are in fear of their lives because they're doing it against the rules and laws of the land, and they can be literally put to death because of it. It was a huge celebration of pride and homosexuality, but it was also a reminder of what people had to go through to get us to where we are now, and that we've got to continue because it's not the same for everybody.
People literally lost their lives in fight for where we are today, and it's still not great. But like I say, homophobia is still around, but that's why we're still out there. And I hate this when people say, "Oh, why do you need pride?" Oh my god, should we have a straight pride?
Yeah, oh
Heterosexual
god,
pride?
we hear that all the time.
Oh, how annoying!
Every day's a straight pride is what I want to say.
Exactly. We don't need a straight pride. We definitely need a homo pride.
Yes. Good. So, of homophobia, have you ever come across any?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just try and quickly think of any examples. But I mean, all the time, really. Not every day, but it depends, because I travel a lot. You
Yeah.
know, and back home isn't great and stuff, but it's definitely better. But that you even when people try, you can see that certain parts of what I talk to them about, they still struggle with.
Yeah.
You know, that's not really homophobia, but it is that they can't seem to get their head around it. But why do the people need to get their head around anything to do with me? I have a wife, I have a life, I have holidays.
Yes, a lot of them. Yeah, we've
Do you know
got.
what I mean? What is there to get your head around?
But you can tell when they're talking to you that some of them are okay. See, I think I've been really flipping lucky. I'm honestly, I don't really remember any homophobia directly to my face. There was one situation when we were living in Germany, and there was a local community that had the women's night once every 2 weeks, and we were invited, and I went, and we didn't speak great German. And I introduced myself and said that I had a wife, and they thought my German was just bad and I didn't know how to say husband.
Oh, wow.
But eventually they figured it out, because obviously they saw me with this woman around. And there was definitely one person who didn't come to that women's group again. And afterwards I was told it was because she was very upset about my living arrangement. But she never said it to my face. I'm kind of of the opinion that it's her problem, not mine. And everyone else was really supportive. And then this was a really Catholic small community. So amazing that
It's
everyone
people's
else...
beliefs and views, and, you know, it can be hard sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, majority of people I know, their belief is don't judge other people and love people and respect them. And, you know, the judging will be done by somebody else at a different time. None of us have any right to, other than when people are at risk of being hurt. Obviously, we shouldn't be judging anybody. You know, life choices are their life choices.
Absolutely. I think most of the homophobia I experienced on quite bad level was probably when I was younger and was out and about in town, you know, painting the town red.
Rainbow, I think you were
Rainbow.
painting it.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would come across all sorts of weird drunk people that would just, you know, call me nasty names, really.
Right.
Just because of my appearance, you know. Because I think with me, when you look at me, it almost can be quite obvious that I'm from gay community. But we spoke about this in a previous podcast.
Well, exactly. She's gorgeous, but she's got short hair.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gay.
I have long hair. Do you know, earrings? I want to talk to you about gay women and earrings. Mm-hmm. A lot of gay women with short hair will always have earrings. And I used to struggle wearing earrings because it hurt. But I always thought that was to avoid being misgendered, because people didn't.
Probably, because I used to, and then I just gave up.
I don't need to wear bloody earrings.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just not into them.
No, exactly. You're a beautiful woman. So
thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
You.
Right.
I'm sorry I'm wearing a gym kit again. This is becoming a thing every time I come here. But also, it was a busy day.
Yeah.
I did tell you I'm going to be here about 7.
Yeah.
And then I got home and it was choice. Food, shower.
Shit.
Loads of deodorant. I had to eat, so I do apologise.
No, you smell gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. You're so complimentary. Yeah. Do you know you're not bad yourself?
Oh, cheers.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, my week...
Get off me.
Thank God it's a pod. My week was interesting because we had people over from Europe to have a meeting at work. One of the things we did was personality tests.
Ooh.
Yeah, which was looking at what is your motivational factors. And there were kind of these 3 different colours. And I'm not going to go into great detail because I'll get it all wrong and there's better people to tell you about this, and I'm sure there's pods on it. But there was the colour red, which means you're very task orientated, you're going to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. Colour blue, which you're people orientated, you're going to make sure everybody's coming along for the ride. And there was the colour green, where you're really logical and you need the facts and you need to work it through and you need to understand everything before you move forward.
Let me guess, you were green.
No.
Red.
No.
Blue?
No, well, I was red-blue.
What?
Because you can be a mixture of the 2. You can also be a mixture of all 3.
Wow.
But what was...
That's a rainbow, babe.
That's what I should have been, rainbow.
What? You're not gay.
I'm not gay enough. The bit that I found really interesting is that they also question you of what happens in conflict. Mm-hmm. Because in conflict, most people move into a different arena. So in conflict, some people rely on the logic to try and get through it. Some people rely on, right, let's just get it done, and they move into sort of red. And it was really fascinating that a lot of people, in conflict change their personality. And what they were saying is that that's some ways, because a lot of people won't tell you they're in conflict. I know you Slovakians, you're quite quick to tell us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, most people won't. They'll just sit on it. But you can maybe tell based on whether they're then trying to get lots of facts, or whether they're saying, well, let's just solve this, or whether they're just going, well, how are you feeling? It was really fascinating. So I feel I know a little bit more about myself this week.
Oh, cool. The thing with me is I'm exactly that. Maybe it's the culture, or maybe it's just me. It probably is just me.
Yeah.
Because not everyone...
Get on with it and I'll tell you. What are you?
What, the colour or...
No, but...
What are we even talking about?
What do you mean, with you?
Well, no, with me, you don't have to try to work out whether I'm in conflict or whether I'm this or I'm that. I will literally tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm dying to tell you, you need to know. I'm pissed off. I'm telling you, you need to know now, and we need to deal with it.
So are you telling me now, or are you telling me what? Are you pissed off at me? Is this what?
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding.
You're fine.
Right, I see. No, but I think that's really important, and I think that's really good. But I don't think us Brits, huge generalisation. I think normally we've been brought up that you don't show you're in conflict until it's bad, and that's not a good thing. You're much better to show you're in conflict and we resolve it.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I think most of the time it works, but sometimes I do wish I was a bit don't show your emotion, Jana.
Right.
Because then sometimes people can use that and abuse it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
So you wear it on your face, so people know.
Oh, do you know my face? It's quite
expression. Yeah, no, that's not the word we're looking for. It's quite expressive.
God, your English is insane.
No, it's my dyslexia, remember?
Oh, sorry.
We've podded that.
Apologies.
No, you go back to the funeral, I'll go back to my dyslexia, we'll be fine.
Please, no funerals. No funerals.
No, enough. We've lost enough important people this year. But right. No. On that note, cliffhanger. Change. So, yeah, other H's in your life. So I can go with hangry.
You are so bad.
Yeah.
I experienced you once and it was enough. From then, that moment, I'm always coming here with the snacks. Have you noticed?
You throw food at me.
I do. I never want to see you hangry again. That was horrendous.
Yeah. So obviously hangry, for anybody who doesn't know, is that mixture of hungry and angry. Mm-hmm. And it basically is that if you're hungry, your anger is not proportionate and you just are a miserable git that no one really wants to spend time with. Do you not get that? Because you're really skinny, and I would assume...
Skinny? I haven't been called skinny for about 30 years.
Okay, well, you don't have a lot of excess. I can feed myself. I always said, if I go down in the Titanic, I'm surviving in that water for a week or two. There's loads of excess.
Underwater?
No, not underwater. In the water. Have you seen the Titanic?
I was going to say, what, are you a fish now? Do you just turn into a fish?
I'm getting on one of those doors.
Right.
And
you mean
floating around.
Oh.
And I'm not going to die of starvation for a while because I've got a lot of excess storage, which you haven't got any.
But you would freeze to death.
Oh, well, it's not a rational thought. I don't have to actually go down with the Titanic.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it can be different year, different season. It doesn't have to be cold.
I just mean I'm going to survive longer than Vicky, my wife, who's got nothing on her.
Literally, day, she'd be gone.
24 hours, off, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, well.
I think I could last a week.
Okay. Anyway.
Maybe then you could last 2.
Exactly. Thanks. I've just spat at you, but you deserved it. So, going back to...
No. For the listeners who can't see us, we actually look exactly the same, so I don't know what you're talking about. In fact, you might be smaller. Look at your tiny little arms.
Yeah, but that's just no muscle, isn't it?
You're mine is much bigger than yours.
Yeah, but anyway, let's move back, because it's not very interesting for the listener when we're comparing arms and they can't see anything.
This is true.
You don't get hungry then. If you're hungry, that isn't bringing out the worst in you.
Not really. I think because of my job where I work, sort of one of the responders, emergency service kind of thing, it happens quite a lot that
You won't eat for a long time.
Yeah, so I think my body's kind of used to that. I do get a little bit frustrated when I'm hungry. Like, I love food, Joe. I love food. You know how much I love food.
Yeah, ditto.
So, no, I don't get hangry, but when I am hungry and I know I can get the food, then I get really desperate, like I want it there and there. I need to get it, and I want a lot of it. Okay. And then if I can't, then I'm like...
Do you think when you were younger, was food in short supply? Because you do put it away when it's available. I have seen that.
Really?
Yeah, quite.
Just because I had 2 Yorkshire puddings the other day.
2 Yorkshire puddings on Sunday.
I mean, I normally have 3, so actually I
so
feel
I'm saying, was there
short-changed.
a Yorkshire pudding starvation when you were growing up?
You're lucky I don't get hungry. I could have been fuming. I only had 2. I don't know what it is. I've always loved food. There was always enough of it at home.
Okay.
So I don't know what
I'm
it
just
is.
assuming because you know, Slovakia, there was a potato famine or something.
Wow. Okay. So at one point we were a bit low on toilet rolls.
What, is this COVID or before that?
Oh, way before that.
Really?
Yeah, we had a big... this is when we were still communist.
Now this is interesting. So what did you use?
Are we going to talk about this?
It's a long time ago.
So, in short, this is the story. So, it was still communist, so import-export wasn't really a thing. Right. It wasn't really allowed. It wasn't really a thing. And obviously, we had a factory that would make toilet roll.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that factory went up in flames.
Oh, no.
So, there was, no supply of toilet roll.
There was just one factory in the whole country.
I think the main one, right. Obviously there was still some bits and pieces in the shops here and there. So, but it was worse than COVID, trust me, because literally at one point it completely ran out of toilet roll. But there was these oh god, they used to use them on the train. They're hand towels.
Yeah.
Like you get hand towels here, but completely hard and shiny. And
tracing paper.
Pretty much.
We used to have those in primary schools. You used to wipe your bottom on tracing paper.
There you go. We had a couple of years of that actually.
That's
so
horrible. They
got rebuilt and more stuff got made. And I mean, I could be wrong. I was a child, but I felt like
a lot of years with tracing paper.
Oh my god, it was awful. Newspapers were used as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Read them and then wipe them. Read them and weep, people. Read them and weep.
Tough, but food was always there. Food was there. My mum always cooked. I mean, there was times, again, going back to import-export thing, when at Christmas time, you couldn't just get, because it wasn't easy to get bananas and oranges. You know, again, import.
Yeah, normally. They don't grow in Slovakia.
So they would import them once in a while and whatever, and definitely at Christmas time. But my mum would have to go in queue for hours to get oranges and bananas.
Wow.
I know. And then she'd buy them, and then Dad would have most of them. Didn't care about the kids.
No. Well, he'd waited a year for an orange and a banana. You can't blame him.
Luckily, that all.
And do you remember the Iron Curtain coming down? Was it overnight things changed or not really?
I was 10, 11. I didn't really pay much
attention.
Okay. I don't really remember the change. I mean, certain changes, but yeah, it's not. I don't remember much.
Okay.
I know school was very different when I was young and we were communists. You know, that the respect you would give to teachers was unbelievable. Teacher walks into the classroom, you all stand up, right, to show respect.
Were they allowed to hit you with a cane and things throughout your whole school life?
Yeah, they wouldn't hit you till you bleed to death or anything. But
well, no, good. Yeah.
But I had my head banged together with one other child. Just banged.
They banged your head against another child.
I was naughty.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Why do I speak like this? Naughty.
Who
speaks like this?
But that doesn't happen these days.
No.
Okay. But they were allowed to use physical force.
Yeah. The ruler was used on your hands there, and bang the heads, and yeah, you had to show respect. I quite like that.
No, Jana, no. You might have needed it, but no, that is not acceptable.
I know it's not. But the respect people actually had for each other,
yeah,
and for elderly, for your teachers, for your parents, it was good in that respect. And
yes.
there was no homeless people.
No, they killed them.
No, everyone had a job and everyone had a roof
Oh,
over
I
their
see what you're
heads.
saying, because of communism. That was like the underguide.
No one was rich. No one really had much of anything. But
Except for the
everyone
people in
had
the
a roof
government.
over their head.
People in the government.
Yeah, it's
didn't
not. I'm
know
not
that.
saying let's bring the communism back.
No.
Jesus Christ, no way. But certain things we're good about it.
Okay.
Yeah, but going back to food, we had food.
Just not bananas and oranges.
Well, exactly. And I loved it, and I still love food. And yeah, I guess I worry that it's just not going to be there or something.
Yeah,
for some
well,
reason.
looking at you're worried about Yorkshire puddings going out,
Oh
definitely.
God, I'm going to buy a bag when I leave here.
Brilliant. Well, anything else H means to us that our listeners, we'd love to know what it means to you guys. We can put that in the responses and DM us and Instagram us and let us know what H means to you.
Yes, please.
Holidays,
Holiday,
happiness.
health.
We didn't talk about health.
Health. Oh my goodness. Surely we've got to talk about health.
I'm healthy. What are you talking
Oh
about?
yeah, good. Sorry, why are you looking at me?
Well, I'm wondering
Do
why
I
you
look
say...
healthy?
No, but you just said we've got to talk about health. Like,
We're getting old, and don't you find yourself you're talking more and more about medical stuff? No?
it creeps in a little bit more, I have to say, than it used to.
Oh, I've had an appointment with the doctor. Oh, I've got dentist. Oh, I don't know why I'm talking like this.
Yeah, exactly. When did you become 83?
Health is a thing, isn't it? You're getting older. Things are starting to go wrong, and
I think the reason health is a thing is because, and this brings us back to that topic we had earlier with you, is that a lot of people our age now have elderly relatives that they're having to look after, support. So, I mean, obviously, that is a privilege because the alternative is what you're saying when you've lost them. But it's a big thing. You know, my mum has loads of appointments right now for various things. Hearing is one of them, let alone vascular and legs and all sorts of things. So I think it is a major topic for our generation for two reasons. Ourselves, everything's a bit more creaky, but particularly those in our families, etc., that we're still looking after.
tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
That H, it's a big one, isn't it? Health, mental health.
Oh.
Oh God, that's a huge
Let's not
thing.
go
Isn't
there.
it? Let's not. No. Okay,
I
we're
mean-
stopping there.
Yeah, right. See ya next week.
Yeah, all right.
If we can, if we're still here.
It's been good talking to you.
No, you got to laugh though, and honestly, it's really important. One of the other things we did at work this week was we all had to do resilience training, and which resilience training is that topic where when something happens, there's the resilience is where it bounces off you. When you're not resilient, it comes and hits you in the heart, you know. So like you're walking down the street and somebody says something and you just go, all right, yeah, whatever. Or you go, ouch,
That hurt.
how can they say that about me? What do they think about me? You know, so it's really important.
But
And
there's also someone like myself who actually comes across as
very resilient.
resilient, but actually I do get hurt by things that people say or do to me.
Yeah,
If they, don't.
big time. You take it really to heart.
Yeah, I do.
Which is why we said to people in another pod, please comment, but don't be nasty to Jana.
Yeah, don't be nasty to Jana. Be nasty to Jo.
Yeah, Jana's fragile.
Yeah,
Jo's
really.
not.
I think we all are. To a
Yeah,
point.
absolutely.
Some more than others. I think I am a sensitive little flower sometimes.
We have to take responsibility for how we let things affect us. And that is really important, that we do spend time becoming stronger, resilient, self-loving,
Oh,
self-caring.
that's the first thing you have to do is love yourself. You really do.
It's hard though, huh?
It is hard. But I think those people that don't love themselves, or at least like themselves, they really do struggle with mental health.
Yeah.
I think that's where you really have to start with yourself.
See, that's so interesting because you say love yourself, but again, it's a really fine line because the people that drive me the most insane are people who love themselves. And you know, it's like non-justified love themselves. You know, arrogant people that like think the world owes them a favour. They drive their car like no one else is on the road. They don't give a shit about anybody else.
Those people aren't someone that loves themselves. They're just assholes.
Arseholes,
Can
yes.
I say that word?
You didn't
Oh,
quite
I already
say it.
did. Okay, so maybe the love yourself thing should actually be called respect yourself. Have respect for yourself.
Yeah.
And like yourself. Care
for yourself.
Yeah.
And I always think a good yardstick is while you're beating yourself up about something.
With a yardstick.
No, we're going back to your education. No, I always think when you're giving yourself a hard time about something, try and think, if it was your friend that you were giving the same advice to, would you be tough on them like you are yourself? Or would you say, you know what, you did your best. All right, it went wrong, but you didn't on purpose do something for it to go wrong. It just happened. Give yourself
I tell myself this every day, 24 hours.
You did your best.
I did. I do. No, like, I think it's more, I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, I don't know what I want to say. So maybe help me.
Maybe that's the H we need. Help!
Help! No, I don't know where else. I was going somewhere with this, but then I thought this is not something I want to talk about right now. But yeah, love yourself, respect yourself, like yourself, care for yourself, and then maybe you can love others.
I think that's actually really true. We were in London the other day, and there was an incredible in Covent Garden. There's a sweet shop that's run by a Ukrainian woman who came over here when the war was on, set up her business, and everyone she employs is from the Ukraine. And it was a really empowering shop. I mean, one cake cost about £8, but you felt you were doing a good thing. And she had a mirror upstairs, and you looked at it, and it had across the bottom, "Yes, you're good enough."
Oh,
and I really loved that mirror. I'm like, everybody needs to see that every morning. So please, every morning when you look in the mirror, I want you all to think, yes, you're good enough.
Love that. I'm going to write that on our mirror at home, actually.
In lipstick.
No, hang on. Look, we actually have a chalk for the glass.
Oh.
We already got drawing on our mirror. When was the last time you visited?
Obviously
There's a rainbow drawn right across our mirror.
That is so cool.
That's going to change. That's going to say, yes, you are good enough. Is that what it was?
Yes.
I'm going to do that. Molly's going to come home.
Go.
I've got to make sure I put it not too high so she can see it. Oh, no. Sorry.
So everybody get chalks right on your mirrors, and thank you so much for listening this week.
Oh, we're done?
Well, I just look at them. We normally go for 36 minutes. We're at 37.
Well, I'm going to have to talk about food in the next one. I was going to talk about Italian food, but we can do that in the next one. We can talk about F.
F.
Wow.
Oh, do you know?
Amazing.
When we say let's talk about F, everyone's going to think, yes, they are talking about food.
Definitely. That's what everyone's going to think. Anyway, this has been fun. Thank you, Jo.
Thank you, Jana.
And thank you all.
Till next time.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Just because you've been to Italy, don't say ciao, ciao.